Okay, students, here we go. We want to look at the first problem when it comes to Coulomb's law. And so, what is Coulomb's law? Well, this is Coulomb's law right here. So, what does this mean? Well, the kappa here is Coulomb's constant. That's this number here. It's going to be a number that's experimentally verified. And then we have ourselves a charge. So that can be on this charge, on this particular object. And then we have ourselves a second charge, which just is, it's just indicative that that charge or the property of this object has a charge Q2. And then we have ourselves a distance of separation between the centers of those two objects. And so the center should represent the total charge for each one of those objects. And we are going to calculate that using, or we're going to calculate this force here using this charge and using this charge for Q2. So F sub Q is just equal to the force of this charge acting on this charge, which is F sub 2 1. And F sub 2 1 is equal to the force acting on this charge from this charge. So basically, that's Newton's third law. Okay. So let us just get to it. Actually, we have our R here, and R is the distance of separation. One of the other things that I should point out is that the force between them, if they are, um, if the charges are not, if they're opposite, or how can I say, yeah, if they're opposite, like if one charge is negative and one charge is positive, then they will attract. So that's what these four symbols mean. If they are the same, like if they have the same kind of charge, so you have positive and positive, they will repel. Okay. And so we are going to, so the main thing that we're looking at, we're just trying to calculate this force right now. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to do this in Microsoft Excel. I'm going to say, it's an excellent tool to utilize. And so I am going to go ahead and put in some values here. So this is going to be Coulomb's Coulomb's constant. Okay, you can use whichever program you like, but I'm going to do it in Microsoft Excel since it's so useful. And this is going to be m squared. Okay, uh, it's actually times a Newton here. And so make sure I put that Newton in there. Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and say Newton times a meter squared divided by a Coulomb squared. So capital C squared. And and I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now, one of the things I like to do is I also am going to uh, set up some alignment here. I'm going to choose the middle, center, and I want to wrap my text so that it's a little bit more presentable or readable. The other thing that we need for Coulomb's law is the first charge. So I'm just going to say charge one, and I'll write it out. And this is going to be in terms of coulombs. Okay. And then we have charge two. I expect this to be fairly easy for you guys. Did I write two? TOW. And this is also in coulombs. So we have charge one, charge two, and then we need the distance of separation. And I guess I should say their centers. All right. This is going to be a meter. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and say, well, this is the force, okay? On either charge, and we know that that is going to be a Newton. That is our standard. All right. So let's go ahead and put these numbers in real quick. This is, let me see, I'll bring up a calculator or my number pad. 898-755-1787.36-818. All right. So I'm just going to say that that's that number. It's not showing the decimal places, but we could always show the decimal places somehow here. Let me see. General. Okay, I can increase the decimal place. And so it's showing my decimal places now. Now I'm doing this on the iPad, but feel free to do it on a desktop. It's going to be pretty much the same. If you use Google Sheets, it should still be the same. So my particular charges, which should be different than yours, um, are, um, now I need to go back to this, E negative 5. And so this is scientific notation, just in case you guys don't know. It's not really scientific notation, but it's it's how we represent scientific notation, at least in Microsoft Excel and in many computer programs. So we're going to have 5.9 e negative 5. All right. So I have that in, and now I'm going to go ahead and put in my distance. It's going to be 0.69. So it's almost a meter apart. Okay, or three quarters of a meter apart. It's even better. So now we want to do our force calculation. And so the force here is just going to be equal to our Coulomb's constant. And you know what? I'm going to put all of this in the numerator by placing a parenthesis around it. So I have all of these. Okay. And then my denominator is going to be the square of the charges. So if I pull this up, you'll see that my formula here is saying that the distance is squared. So I am just going to say power, and I can select my number, and then I want it to go to the second power. All right, that should be sufficient. So there is my number. Let me see, I can take it out of scientific notation if I wanted to. And it looks like we have what, two significant figures. So um, I'm just gonna, that should be fine. Okay. And that's it.